Hi, my name's Holly, and I want to learn how to fish. I love doing things with my fiance Nick, and one of his favorite hobbies happens to be fishing. However, I'm really bad. I know the basics and I have some general knowledge of fishing, but I'm just not that good. Whenever we go fishing, I want to be able to contribute something other than tangling up my line and forcing Nick to unravel it for me, which is why I have recruited him to teach me everything I need to know about fishing. I thought I would document the process so that not only do you get to watch me become a fishing expert, but you can follow along and become one too. So, what's the plan?
Well, step one of the plan is to meet my teacher. Once we meet my teacher, we'll move on to step 2, learning the basics. Here, we're going to learn how to tie a hook, then we're going to learn how to cast different types of poles, and we're also going to learn some of the behavior of the fish that we'll be trying to catch. Then moving on to step 3, fish. We'll start off catching tiny fish. Then once we feel like we've mastered that, we'll move on to bigger ones. Once we master that, then we'll move on to fly fishing. And last but not least, step 4 is to teach you everything I know so that you can become a fishing expert too.
Well, my name is Nick McBride, and I am a fishing expert, you could say, kinda amateur. I know what I'm doing. I've been doing it for a long time, and pretty excited to teach Holly, my fiance, how to catch some fish so she can do it with me in the future. When I first learned to fish, I was with my grandpa, and I was about 5 years old. I was probably out there, throwing the pole in the water and all kinds of stuff like that at 3 or 4 years old. But when I got real serious with it, when I started learning how to do stuff on my own, which was like 7 or 8 years old, the biggest lesson I've learned from fishing was to control your attitude. So many things can tick you off if you look at fishing the wrong way. Because you could get lure stuck in a tree on your first cast. Happens to me all the time still. You could break your line off, get snagged on something in the water that you just tied on, put a bunch of work in. So it's really controlling your attitude, because yeah, it is about catching fish, but it's also about being out in nature. It's getting away, and some people might say it sounds stupid, but it's something to really clear your mind. You start off having a bad day and you don't fix it, attitude-wise, it's gonna be a rough, long day for you, because fishing is up and down. So my favorite fish to catch would probably have to be crappie. I got two. I really got two, but I would have to say crappie, because during crappie season, if you get on a school crappie, you're out there all day, and the bite is consistent all day. And you just catch one after another. They can be up to 5 inches all the way to 2-3 pounds. The biggest fish I've caught, which I wasn't holding it, so it might not seem like I caught it, but it actually wasn't with the fishing pole, it was with a net. And I caught an Asian carp, or might have been a grass carp. It was a grass carp. And I believe I do have a picture of that, but I'm not holding it, my buddy is. It was probably 20 to 25 pounds, I would say. But my favorite kind of fishing, there's not really much of in Kentucky, and it's trout fishing. You ever been to like Gatlinburg or anything, and you saw the little river that runs through that town? It's kind of that. So now I'm gonna bring in Holly and show her how to tie, a couple different ways to tie on hooks and set up poles. So I'm gonna show the camera what I'm working with here. It's a really simple setup. It's just, this right here is a hook with pretty much a weight to it. It's or jig hook, or there's a couple different names for it, but the soft plastic little crappie jig, which will work for bluegill too. So what I'm gonna do is hand you this, and I'm going to walk you through how to do it.
Oh boy, okay.
So what you're gonna do is you're gonna stick that through that hole right there one time, and then we'll go from there.
Oh.
It's a very small hole, so this is where I say fishing could get frustrating.
Okay, through the hole.
Now you're going to make sure the ring of this stays on this side, if that makes sense. So you're gonna stick this back through, but you're gonna want the line still coming out of that side. So it's gonna be a ring that's sticking out of that side now. So you're gonna bring that line right back through where you came from. Run a lot out just for the sake. So you have that there. Now
Okay.
what you're gonna wanna do is just tie a regular knot. Just a loop knot or just anything. You know how to tie a regular knot like you tie your shoes.
Yes, I know how to tie my shoes.
Yes, just pull that tight. Now you're gonna run the entire hook and sinker through the loop. So you're gonna stick it, yeah, just like that. Now make sure that's pulled tight to where it won't go back over. It's very small, but you're gonna want to get it close. That's what it looks like. Usually that ain't going nowhere. That's one of the most simple knots that will stay most of the time. Now you're going to want to take this, the soft plastic little crappie jig, which will work for bluegill too, or sometimes bass. It really depends where you're fishing. So you're gonna want to stick, I'll show you how to do this real quick. Stick the top end and you just drive it all the way up the hook, and that's literally it. Feels great out here today. Couldn't name a better day to do this. See, and now it's done. That'll catch you fish. This thing will work. Almost looking like a fake fish in the water. And fish will be all over that, and if cows are standing up, you'll get fish that day. So.
Next we took this bullet weight and a bigger hook to set up a rig for a bass pole. It looked like this when we were done. Same concept as the crappie setup we did, except this time we took this rubber worm and slid it onto the hook to get that final product. Now it's time to learn how to cast these poles out.
Teach me, master.
Now this was what I was fishing with the other day. Caught a lot of fish, by the way. So you're gonna want to pull a little bit out and then throw it out. And then once that green string comes out of the very top ring, it's a lot easier. Keep pulling out the farther you want to cast. And then you bring it back. Now the way I was taught was from a 10 and 2 on the clock. So instead of doing this over your head, that's how you hook somebody or hook yourself. You keep it out and you use your wrist more than your shoulder. You'll have shoulder issues.
Here, Nick's basically just telling me to swing the pole at a 10 and 2 angle, just over and over again.
Now I'm gonna stand behind you and pray I don't get hooked.
I'm not gonna hook you.
And now, it's my turn. This actually wasn't too difficult to pick up on, and once I started to get the hang of it, we just moved on to our next pole.
What you're gonna wanna do here, when you flip this, all your line comes out, it lets loose. When you flip it back over, that's when you can reel and it actually collects line. So when you're going to cast this one, you hold your line, just like that.
Okay.
Then you flip it where it's open, it's ready to let go. You're gonna let go of this line when you get to a good angle in momentum out that way, and then it'll go.
Grab my line. Flip it open.
Make sure you're holding it.
Cast.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good.
Okay. Next pole.
So now we're at the final stage. This one is more advanced than the fly rod. This is what it looks like. It's a bait caster. As soon as you hit the button, it falls out and it does not stop. It's literally just, as soon as it feels pressure, it's just gonna roll. So as soon as it hits the water, so we're gonna say the ground, you have to stop this thing when you cast it. You have to stop it manually. Unlike the other pole, so I'll do it real quick. So now you can give it a shot and just try not to bird nest it.
This one honestly wasn't too difficult either, and I really think Master Nick was quite impressed with how quickly I picked up on it.
Okay, we know how to cast, so.
You know how to cast, you know how to tie hooks on. Now you just need to learn how to catch some fish. So we're gonna head down to our pond.
And catch some fish.
We started our tiny fish adventure here today at Lake Jericho in hopes to get on some tiny bluegill. However, we had absolutely no luck whatsoever, so we headed back home to go down to our pond and see what we could catch there.
Unfortunately, the downside of fishing is that you won't always catch fish. It's not because you're doing anything wrong, it's just because the fish aren't biting. They don't want to cooperate, they don't want to get caught. Maybe they're too tired, maybe it's too cold, maybe the sun's not in the right position. I don't know. Fish are complicated. So anyways, since we've already learned how to catch bluegill, we just haven't caught any yet, we're gonna go down to our pond on our property and see what we can catch. So I've got my LaCroix and I got my worms, so let's go. Oh, wow. All right, well, we made it down to the pond, so now I have to get my worms out and unfortunately put a worm on the hook. It wouldn't be so bad if these weren't night crawlers. If these were like the thin red worms, it wouldn't be so bad. But I hate night crawlers because they're fat. Not body shaming, they're just so much bigger and I hate touching them. All right, well, I'm gonna face my fears, put a worm on my hook, cast it out a couple times and see if we can catch something. Nightcrawler. Stick him in through one side. Loop him around. Ugh. Okay, get to the other side. Ugh. Holy cow, that was far. I don't even know if there's fish over there. Typically there are fish over there because there's a tree over there.
Oh no. Okay, well, unfortunately that little spill did break my mic. Literally in half. That made me disappointed, and shortly after that I found a tick crawling on my stomach, so I just decided to cut my losses for the day and made my way back up the hill so we can try again another day. And we're back on a new day. Hopefully today we have some newfound luck because these bluegill are really wearing me out.
Worm number 2.
I say worm number 2 because I actually caught a massive crappie out of here just before we started filming. Not the fish that we were after necessarily, but it just proves that you never know what you'll catch.
Little bluegill.
Get him?
I got him.
Did a good one?
Bluegill number 2.
Oh my gosh. Okay. He's fine. Oh, I have them on. I didn't even. Okay. Oh my goodness gracious. I can't.
Okay, well I'll maybe get to show you a fish eventually.
You gotta hold them tight.
I was trying to show the camera.
So whip them.
Well, even though I can't hold on to the fish in order to show you what I'm catching, our luck has seemed to be sticking around. We actually managed to catch quite a few in this new spot, and they're actually pretty good size. I would say that we still had a pretty successful day. And we did in fact learn how to slay some bluegill. We've shifted our objective. Now we're on the hunt for big fish, which brings us to Taylorsville Lake. Today we're on the hunt for crappie. In order to do that, we've got some worms to put on our hook. We casted them bad boys out there and began what I call the big, long wait. So we waited, and we waited, and we waited, and we waited until something, anything, could happen. And then it did.
Look how big!
Now that we've proved to ourselves that we can catch fish out of this spot, I put this guy back in the water and let him swim off, and then we kept fishing. You catch one fish and you get on this little like fishing high, and then you're just like, you're ready to do anything ever for the entire like next 20 minutes.
Yep, here you go.
I got him. Mm-hmm.
Is he big? Or does this look like he's big? Just trying like an orange water. I'm not gonna like he's big. Make sure, get him on the shore, get him on shore, get him on shore.
Oh my
gosh! That's a chunk, that's a keeper. She's learning
That
how to
hook
fish.
was barely in his mouth. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, hold that thing up, that's a chunk.
Take my picture.
I am.
Cute photo op.
They'll have a lot of black on them.
Overall, we did have a pretty successful day and we caught a few fish. As the sun started to set though, the bite was getting a lot slower than it just was. We had about 20 or 30 so minutes of active bites, but as the sun went down, the bites slowly stopped until we were just getting absolutely nothing. Still a successful day, but we decided to wrap up and try again on a new one. And we're back here on another beautiful day, yet again here at Taylorsville Lake, but we have sort of a different objective today. Today we're after dinner. We need to catch crappie that are a 10-inch minimum to take home to fillet and eat for dinner. We should have some better luck though because we have these live minnows from the bait shop. So let's see what we can do. Well, Nick caught a fish while I was putting my minnow on. Here's this dude. This is a white crappie again. They're beautiful fish. The limit to take crappie is 10 inches at least. So we're gonna measure him and see if he's good enough. He's just under the limit, so he has to go back. I was having absolutely no luck in this spot, so you're just going to see me continuing to move around and cast in different spots, and nothing's going to change. No luck, so new spot.
Whoa!
Dude, I just had my pole sitting in the water. I don't know what this is. I just set my pole in the water so my minnow wouldn't die. Because Nick just caught a fish, so I was hoping to measure it. Well, That's one way to do it. Well, here's my catch, guys. Nick says this is a baby rock bass. Whatever that is. I'm gonna let it go. This spot also wasn't very nice to me. That little guy was my first and only catch of the day so far. So I was really hoping that my luck was gonna turn around soon. New spot, we're fishing at the dam. I feel like I lose a layer throughout the day every time we change spots.
Oh, good one, good one.
Check that bad boy out. He might be a keeper, I don't know. We're about to find out.
He's a little over 10. Look.
He's a keeper!
Look, he's over 10.
This thing felt like a shark. This is definitely a bass, because I can tell by the line across the body, but I don't know if it's just like a regular smallmouth. Nick's on his way to tell me. What is this?
It's just a largemouth bass.
Largemouth?
Yeah, it's a baby.
Okay. It's a largemouth, but just a baby. Holy cow, he fights. Come on his way. Oh, okay. Okay, well this is working out splendid, so let's do more. Jeez. Oh, that's a fish, baby. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. Probably. Holy moly. Yeah, I don't even think I have to measure this guy to know he's a keeper. All in all, today was a pretty successful fishing day. We caught a few more fish and we ended up with 8 in total. There's not that many in the basket, but we ended up with 8 that we took home, filleted, and had a delicious, delicious dinner. I'd say we mastered it. Today's objective is fly fishing. In order to be the most successful with fly fishing, we are making our way down to our pond in the back of our property. Without falling, of course. Now, Holly, why would your own pond be the most successful for this? Well, Nick and I actually stocked a ton of bluegill in this pond not too long ago. And when I tell you they are hungry, I mean they are hungry. They eat off the top of the water all day long, so we really shouldn't have any problems catching them. So without further ado, let's go catch them.
Jeez. I need a glove.
Readier? It works.
I didn't know. I didn't know it still had food in it. I thought it was empty.
These are the guys that we're after. Don't ask me if these are purebred or hybrid. I have no clue.
I don't reel it in?
You can.
Oh, I just hold it so it doesn't pull more out. Okay.
But usually, right way to do it. Go.
After Nick gave me a few more pointers to make me as successful as I could be, he sent me on my way to catch me some fish. And when I tell you, you catch one, you catch them all. Just watch.
Well, that was easy. Probably shouldn't have thrown them that high. It's like giving candy to a baby. See, I was watching the line and I didn't see it move. Gotcha. This is pretty fun.
Go for it. Oh. Oh.
I told you these fish were hungry, and they were literally biting our flies until the sun went down. We fished out here for maybe an hour and caught a fish on basically every single cast. Another prime example that I don't know how to hold fish properly. And anyone that was worried about Nick, don't worry, because I let him fish just as much as me. He caught some big old chunks too. Eventually, the sun started setting a little too far and we were about to be fishing in the dark. But I can't deny that fly fishing does seem to be the easiest type of fishing if you can find some water that have very, very hungry fish. Overall, I'd say it was a very successful day of fishing, and I think we've mastered how to fly fish. In the end, this journey of learning how to fish has taught me a lot. We learned how to tie a couple different knots on a couple different poles. We also learned a lot about the kinds of fish you can catch with those poles. I've learned a lot of new things about fish I didn't even know existed during this process. I learned so much from Nick about their behaviors, where they like to live, what they like to eat, how to catch them, you name it. And I think it's so interesting because even knowing all these things, I could go out now to fish for these guys and still not catch them. It just depends on the day and the way the wind's blowing, apparently. I feel pretty confident now that I can be of use when Nick and I go fishing from now on. And if this footage wasn't proof enough to all you non-believers out there, I've been out fishing many, many times since I've learned my way around a fishing pole, and I present to you my newly improved fishing credentials. Now, I don't consider myself an expert by any means. However, I know more than nothing, and the fish don't know that, so that's good enough.